Good afternoon and welcome to the channel. I'm John Daga, and with me as always is Johnny. So guys, I got a really big surprise next week. We're going back to basics. I got an awesome car we're going to be representing on Bring a Trailer. It's along the lines of the Duesenberg 2 or the Auburn. I'll leave it as a surprise, but I'll let you know it's coming. But today's kind of my editorial moment. So this is my daily driver. This is my pickup truck. It's a 2020 GMC. It has the 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel in it. And of all the trucks I've owned over the years, this is by far my favorite. The greatest thing about this truck, other than its comfort and its carrying ability, is the fact it gets almost 30 miles to the gallon. And diesel fuel is pretty reasonable these days, about $3.30 a gallon. So when I first got this truck, it came with 2 free oil changes as part of the deal through the dealership. So I went to the dealership, I got my 2 free oil changes. When it came time to do the 3rd oil change, I looked at getting the oil for it, and it takes a special oil. It's a Dexos D light duty diesel oil, and it was originally available through AC Delco. So my choice was to get it from the dealership, buy it on Amazon, or have the dealership change the oil. Well, the oil change kit with a PF 66 AC filter and 7 quarts of the Dexos D was $85. The dealership would change the oil for me for $97. So I figured 12 bucks for somebody else to do it, sit in a comfy waiting room, drink coffee, play on my phone, work on my laptop, make some phone calls. I was in and out of there usually in 45 minutes, so I thought it was awesome. And then I got the minder on the dash long about said replace fuel filter. So I was at the dealership. I said, you know what? Go ahead and put a fuel filter on it. I'm thinking it's a fuel filter. And I know some diesel trucks, it's pretty involved. You have to depressurize the system. You have to bleed the system again, pre-fill it and everything. Not the case on this truck. So imagine my surprise when I got the bill for $145 to change a fuel filter.
Holy cow.
Now the fuel filter is nothing more than a replaceable cartridge. This is the AC Delco OEM cartridge. I bought this on Amazon for 35 bucks. Now I could buy this from my local parts store, even at my supposed jobber price. The filter's $49. The dealership charged me $55 for the filter and $89.95 to change it. So at $89.95, that's basically $90, and I think in 2001 the dealership would charge about $180 an hour labor. So they're saying that this filter takes 1/2 of a labor hour to change. Now I understand in a dealership environment there's a lot of people, you know, quote, sucking on the tit. You have the service advisor, you have the porter, you have the parts guy, you've got the customer experience girl, you got the parts man, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the price of that fuel filter goes up exponentially. But one thing as a business owner and a manager I always try and do is if I hand a customer an invoice, I better be able to defend that invoice. It better look like I'm charging what the job is worth. I don't think that's worth $145. So I'm going to show you how long it actually takes to change this $35 fuel filter. This is not a lesson on how to change a fuel filter on a Duramax. I just strictly want to show you how long it takes. Now I've got my filter. I've got the one single tool, which is a socket, a 3/8 drive socket, and a little drip pan here. So I'm going to put a clock on it, and we'll see how long does it take. So you ready for Halloween, Johnny?
Yeah, kids are all dressed up for daycare. It's fun times when they're 3 and 4.
Yeah, I remember those days. It was 30 years ago for me.
Yeah, I definitely started a little bit late, but in earnest.
See, there's not really any pressure in there. It's not gushing out. Did this at the end of the day so I don't have to walk around all day smelling like diesel.
Lucky you.
So there's our element. Container's clear. Go ahead and pop this O-ring off. We're going to go ahead and put a little lube on there. Grease, oil, Vaseline, ATF, diesel, doesn't matter. Put a little on the threads here. It seemed a little fussed a little bit coming off. How about a time check there, Johnny?
We got almost 3 minutes.
Almost 3 minutes. 10% of the way there to that dealership charge.
Okay.
There's one more little O-ring. Just a groove it sits on. You can kind of feel it. On the stand pipe, so as you can see, this required no special tools, no lift.
What's the torque spec on that?
Tight. All right, time check, Johnny.
4:30.
Okay, new fuel filter is in. Now, system does not need to be primed. I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick check for a leak. Okay, we've got a service minder here. She's asking for a fuel filter change. We're going to do the fuel filter, so we're going to go to our menu here. There's the fuel filter. I'm going to go ahead and reset it to 100%. This has been a little fussy in the past. Procedures. You can see we have Hair Nation on Sirius XM here. And so that job's complete, under 6 minutes. So was the dealership okay to charge me for theoretically a half-hour shop labor? $89 for that service? I don't know. Up to you. Depends how much you value your time. So I am not against anybody earning a living, anybody making money, anybody providing a service with a cost. I mean, that's what we do here every day. We provide a service, we get paid. I just always make sure that the charges are appropriate for the service. Now, we know that the price that they were charging for an oil change was a loss leader. That was to get you in the door so they could sell you other things, such as a fuel filter for $145. I'd rather see the dealership charge me the correct price for an oil change and charge me the correct price for a fuel filter. But that's just my editorial moment. So, you know, if you liked what you saw here today, give it a like. If you didn't, well, thanks for watching anyways. Johnny and I'll be back next week. We're going to have an awesome vehicle for you. And until then, we'll see you next time.